I'm a bigger solo developer and I'm releasing a game on Steam, I thought to myself, how much should you really spend on your game? Like, especially if it's like your first game, maybe even your second game, like how much do you really spend on it? Got me thinking, like, for me in general, when it comes to Steam, obviously it's $100, but also music for me. Art, a little bit of art, like some low poly, I like to like some asset packs I like to do. And I like to re-change it, or if it's like a rock, for example, I'd rather just buy the asset pack. Like if it's something generic, those things I can just buy and then I can just redo. Like I don't want to recreate rocks or even trees sometimes, or even I might actually even modify a few trees in Blender. But I think in total, like for Torin's Greed, this game that I'm working on, I think I want to say I spent 160 for music, art and stuff like that, that low poly art, maybe another $60 with some generic asset packs. BFX, maybe they were on sale, so like $15. So I would say like maybe around 250 I probably have spent in general when it comes to game development just for this project. I think in general I probably spent like over, not too much, I could say 600 in general, like for my 8 years of doing game development, solo game development particularly. I think for me particularly, I'm not a huge spender, and if I have a chance I like to kind of recreate things like from 3D, or maybe do my own a little bit of art and try to like mimic it a little bit, or just make my own kind of modifications in that sort of sense. The biggest thing I'll probably spend on is, I would say, music. I don't think I would spend on anything else. Sound effects, kind of. Yeah, I think some sound effects are good to have, especially like if it's like you're making a horror game. I think for horror games, for sure, you would need to spend a little bit more on like a game development sort of thing. Unless if you want to recreate it, but that's a little bit of a pain. I don't think like some people can make good horror sound effects. I don't know. Like for me, I see it that way. I make some sound effects, like if they're easy, like kind of sticky stuff, sort of things like that. That I can do, but I don't think I would spend too much, because I've seen on average like some people spend like 2,000, 3,000, and I think depends on the game. Like if there's some good assets, or like maybe you can get a concept artist, that could be something good. Like obviously if you want to make something bigger. I know a few of you guys want to make horror games that are realistic, and I can see that being like an honest good amount, like 2,000 for it, 3,000 for it, maybe in that range, especially if you want like a nice asset. The rest could be asset packs. Like the main character could be your own, like somebody can customize it. I think that will work really well. A little bit more on asset packs, I think. I think if you have the money to spend on asset packs, it's kind of worth it. Obviously the famous, or the famous, what is it, the 3D low poly asset packs, those are kind of obvious. But I think if you look, like maybe if you do a combination of asset packs and other packs, like custom packs, that probably works well, like a little bit of a hybrid version. So I think it should match like your art style, or if you're working with an artist, you should kind of like match your low poly art style, or even high poly art style that you're gonna do for your game, or even pixel art actually. So I think pixel art, I've been seeing more like a higher end pixel art that looks really good. I think if you work with somebody that really is good with pixel art, they could probably help you out really well to make a cool game. So you never know. Like I said, it's good too. I think personally, I would work with a good artist. I know my art is decent. I don't think it's nowhere pro. I think my art's pretty on average, like on par. But it's nowhere near like a pro level. Like maybe even like how you guys do it, like shader wise. And that's what kind of like got me thinking about colors and all that. Like I wouldn't know like a red from another bright red, or a little bit lighter red. When it comes to those sort of things, I don't think I'm in that page yet. I think I still need to do a little bit more of just reading more of art and understanding it a little bit better. Art is still a pain for me. I'm getting better though. I'm getting much better. Is art harder than programming? I personally think that depends like where you come from. If you're more of an artist, then, or if you're more of a visual person that you can see colors or you can see like the contrast, and then you have that creativity for art, then yeah, for sure art will be much easier and coding could be more difficult. There's a lot of people that say, hey, I can only do coding, I can't do art at all. And I personally think anybody can do a little bit of both. I like have a mixed brain. So the way I am as a solo game developer, I have a mixed brain. I can do good coding, but I can do decent art too. So I like to have that split brain where I can do both, I don't want to limit myself. I don't want to cap myself. Especially being such a, mix of game developer and then doing everything myself. I need to have that flexibility where I can do coding one day and then art the other maybe hour or something. I need to mix myself that way. I don't like to be only like one brain sort of character. I like to do many things. Yeah, well, do you think now that AI is coming up, since we're talking about a little bit of art, do you think now with like a whole AI thing, would it be able to do like would you be able to do like more of the shading and the color style directly using AI? Right? Would that be a new thing, or is the necessity to still hand paint things is still a requirement? Our professional artists know how to do it. Yeah, but I'm saying, like, let's say you get into art, like you're a beginner, right? An artist. Would more AI use be required, or would people kind of like how people vibe code nowadays? I don't know. I don't like AI art, but just giving you an example. I know I don't personally like AI art as much either. Right? I always modify it and change it around. I use it just for reference. But let's say I'm getting, as a beginner, trying to be an artist to do 3D. Would more people, kind of like how people are doing vibe coding, would they use more of that AI sort of aspect to it? Like instead of modeling or doing the 3D materials, or even painting the UIs, would they just let AI do everything? Could that be a feature, like for any beginner? Or do you think it's just gonna be like, no, we need to do it all hand painted? Just getting your perspective on it, right? Like, would it be more of a, I hope not. You never know. Yeah, you never know. Like I said, a lot of corporations are pushing a lot of AI. There's a lot of people that are pushing the thought of using AI in their companies and stuff like that. It's not really as obvious as some of you guys that are better artists than I am. I'm very ignorant in that sense, but I'm understanding it better. I just need to learn more of the art theory, like how certain colors match with others, or how certain materials work with others, and doing that sort of aspect. Colors is still pretty difficult. AI, I don't think, honestly, like I've seen people say, oh, what about AI art? I don't think AI art's still in that perspective. You can obviously use it, but if it's too obvious or it looks too weird, players might not really like it, just in the sense because it looks kind of off. It doesn't look well polished. So for me, I think AI art's still in that sort of, in that phase where you still need to modify it and change it around. I don't think it's there yet. I think eventually it might get a little bit better, but it's gonna be, in a different perspective. I think it might be still, like, it'll try to like maybe even get to some issues with copyright or IP issues. So I would say AI art might be something that could give you some dicey issues. I would say if you are using AI art, just be careful with it. Don't trust it 100%. You can get into some IP issues, especially if an art looks very close, similar to another art that maybe another artist actually did complete and make. That can get into some dicey waters. But yeah, I mean, I like the hybrid approach. Doing my own art with a mixture of like some asset packs. And obviously I can use AI for reference only as reference. I wouldn't go that far in spending that much. But if you can, I think spending money on game development as a solo game developer is kind of necessary. It's unfortunately you gotta pay the Steam's cuts. Sometimes you can't really do everything. And I wouldn't recommend anybody to do everything when it comes to solo development. If you can, have someone help you out and then just say, hey, thank you, man. If they want to do it just for you, say thanks, or if you want them to do something extra, then you can pay them. Yeah, absolutely. I think you should commission people that are willing to help you out with things. That's my thought on solo game development and asset packs. I think that's as far as I would go.